You would think you know a person until money shows up. Hello, welcome to a new year and this month's episode of Psych and Poetry, where we talk things psychology and do a little bit of poetry. I am your host, Nirat Rap, and I wish you a prosperous year ahead. Now, back to the matter at hand. Does money change a person? Last year, I took a survey on people's opinions on the matter and I categorized their responses into two. So the first category say, yes, money does change a person. So it changes who they are, the way they talk, the people they hang around, and probably even the way they walk. Basically, it changes their attitude and their behavior. Second category say, no, money does not change a person. It only reveals who this person has always been from the start. Probably because they didn't have the money to sponsor the lifestyle they wanted and behave the way they wanted. So they were on a low. Who knows? From a psychological perspective, I cannot give you a direct yes or a direct no. I know you're disappointed, but calm down. I'm going to learn, I promise. There are factors to consider before drawing conclusions on the matter, and we will be discussing three of those factors. First, individual differences, social influence, and the biological factor. Yes, biology day. For individual differences, this accounts for how unique people are from each other. So there are differences in our personality, in our thought processing, and everything. So just for the fact that money can change me doesn't mean that money can change you. Social influence. We have to admit that if you have money, your responsibilities are different from someone who does not have money. So let's take this scenario for example. If you are the last of 4 children and you are the most financially buoyant one, even during meetings, the contributions you are expected to give are different from that of your older ones. And if at all at some point you get to feel overwhelmed, you get to feel tired, and you start to complain or you start to dish out orders because you feel, since I'm giving more, I need to be in charge and I need to have a greater percentage of say in the decision we're making. And they go, no, calm down, you don't know I'm your elder one. And you go, well, I'm the one bringing in the cash. And they go, when did you change? When did you become disrespectful? Now, does it mean that money has changed you, or that is how you really are? Disrespectful. Now, for the biological aspect, I'm not going to go into the neuroscience behind it, but there's a part of our brain that is known as the reward system. Basically, anything that gives you pleasure, it wants more and more of that so that it will be stimulated. I'll give you an example with myself. If you've been following me either on Facebook, on Instagram, or even subscribed and watched our videos on YouTube, you will know that I love tea. I love tea, oh. So one time in my final year in the university, I was broke. So broke to the point that I couldn't afford 50 naira biscuits. And I don't like taking tea without anything, be it chips, biscuit, bread, just something. And I was sad. I don't want to say depressed, but I was really sad. But then I couldn't make a big fuss out of it because we're in Africa, in Nigeria. You don't want to be seen as a spoiled child. So I just stayed with my sadness, so got over it because eventually I got some little money and I was able to buy biscuits and it made me so happy. When you deprive or satisfy your reward system biologically, it makes you either happy or sad, and then it can cause certain changes. So if you are sad, obviously you would not be involved in certain activities. It will really affect your behavior, and sometimes when you're happy, it makes you more fun to be around. You might even be more impactful. When you have money, it affords you to get things that give you pleasure, and it just goes on to extend who you are or who you never really were. So probably then you didn't party, you didn't take drugs because you couldn't afford to, but now because you can, you do those things. So you have changed. And then sometimes you're actually a generous person, a good person, but you don't have the means to show that gratitude and kindness at the grand scale that you wish. But when you have money, you're more generous, you can be involved in more charitable activities. So yes, biology has a role to play in how money can change a person or reveal who they are. So after all is said and done, we cannot just say straight away, yes, money changes a person, or no, it doesn't. We have to account for all of these factors, like how did the person grow up? Who is this person really? What are the expectations on this person? These are some factors that can either change a person because they have money or reveal who they are because they have money. Food for thought. Has or will money change you? And has or will money reveal who you really are? Do enjoy the poem that comes after this video. Thank you for listening to Psych and Poetry. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to having a great year ahead because we have a lot in store for you. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Ciao.
From the pool of dust came the greatest work of creation, a bust of life diverse and grand, different faces across various nations. Christians and Muslims alike, male and female, each of their kind, an existence that strikes the true essence of the human mind, built with a heart of gold, where love stands at its greatest height, and courage, full of heart and bold, never to be let out of sight. This we must not lose, or a whole future goes down the drain. Peace will fade, lost in the noise, if love ever falls on barren terrain. We are because he is. Stories that will forever stand the test of time because of a God who has made us in his image, painted in love, created in the peace of heaven. We are standing structures of who God is. Therefore, to be human is to love. To love is to tolerate. And where there is peace, there is justice. Where love resides, humanity thrives.